Hey Shaylee, this is Mrs. Skoglund. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your summer assignment. And so we're mostly going to be talking through this chapter 2 questions since that was kind of what you had starred. And then I'll kind of reference some other things like as we're going as well. All right, so starting off, the first thing I always look for in a strong paragraph is a good topic sentence, which is the first sentence here that really answers this question. And so I think your topic sentence, Shaylee, like it was there, but I think you sort of just like repeat the question. Like you just kind of say, you know, there's a need for art-directed thinking because of the 3 A's or whatever, right? Which is sort of what that already said. What I want you to do is give me a little bit of a preview as to why that is. So start to answer the question in that topic sentence. Next, what I look for at the end is your concluding sentence, which should kind of almost like reflect the topic sentence in the question, but maybe provide some significance to it. And so I thought you did a good job of saying like, you know, this is why art-directed thinking matters, right? Like the significance. But I noticed that in some other paragraphs you didn't have a concluding sentence, so I did have to count down a little bit for that. So just kind of FYI there. All right, next I looked at your evidence, and I thought that you did a good job selecting evidence, you know, especially with like you have specific examples and descriptions that Pink gives, and so I thought that gave you a lot to talk about. What I do want you to work on, and this is you're really close, so it's just kind of a minor detail, is when you have a quote set up like this in your embedding, when you're saying something like, for instance, Pink says, only against a backdrop of abundance. So notice I kind of paused there, right? Or when I say, for instance, Pink states, in the United States, a typical chip designer. So that's because whenever we have this like what's called a dialogue word, and we're going to learn more about this soon, we put a comma to lead into that quote to show that little bit of separation. Okay, so just kind of a small thing, but wanted you to notice that. Let's see. Next thing I looked for was your commentary. And I really liked this piece of commentary, especially where you talk about like basically why this abundance means that there's going to be art-directed thinking. Same thing here. This is why we need art-directed thinking. So I just thought you did a good job, like kind of providing the significance and tying back to this question with your commentary. But up here, sometimes in your other paragraphs, I noticed I got a little confused, like since you have the citation here, like where exactly your commentary was, and I want to say there was one down here too. Yeah, where it just kind of cuts off and there's not commentary. So just be really careful because I had to count you down because we want to see that consistent structure with evidence and then commentary right after, okay? Lastly, just one thing I want to point out are your citations. You're really close again, but just make sure you don't have the comma there. And then art-directed activities looked really good, I thought. I just wanted to comment on this one especially because I went to see The Lion King in May too, and it was so awesome and I loved it. So I was excited you got to see it as well, and sounds like you had a good time. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback.